Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Living History Militaria here. Going to go over some of my latest pickups. Got a lot of stuff to go over. I'm real excited. Go ahead and pan over here because it got to be too big to fit on the desk. So, let's jump on in. Alright, so I'm going to start off with some of the small stuff here. Got a nice World War II felt 5th Division, 5th Marine Division, with a cheesecloth backing patch right here. Also got this right here. This neat little flag is a World War II German mine flag. This would have been put on a L-shaped pole that would have been stuck into the ground. There would have been a carrying bag full of them, and it would have been ran through the top here, this little sleeve, and then tied off with this little rope. So this was used to identify and label mines on the battlefield, along with booby traps and gas-contaminated areas as well. So that's pretty cool. Right here, an awesome piece of World War I history. This is a World War I trench art letter opener, and you can see right here on the blade, Verdun. It's written there. It also has this interesting little crown welded on the shell casing. I'm not sure what country of origin that is from or where the crown would have come from, but it's a neat little accent piece. And then right here you can see on the bottom, this is stamped February of 1918. This is a World War I French labelle round, actually. So it's a neat little piece. And I also got this neat World War II Garrison cap. This is just a plain one. No insignia on it, no names, no date, unfortunately. But it's in good shape. It still has the size tag in here, though, which is pretty cool. And it also has the blue and gold piping around the edge for the Army Air Corps. So I don't have one of those. I have an infantry one, and I have a couple of blank ones, but nothing for that. So we'll add that to the collection. And I also got a couple of small pictures too that I'd like to go over. This is pretty cool right here. This is a press photo, and it shows a group of German soldiers, and they are outfitted in some homemade camouflage, which is pretty cool. And if we flip it over on the reverse, it's got a nice little description here, basically just telling that the Germans here were retreating from this area and showed construction of tunics from string and nets. That's pretty cool. I also have a set of 4 Luftwaffe photos. I can make out a couple of the same soldiers in each picture. And I think this is my favorite out of the 4, because these 2 guys are hanging out in a group. Looks like a whole bunch of chairs, maybe a presentation or a class or something, but they are sitting on an SC-250 German bomb, which is pretty cool. And I also managed to get these. This is a set of 8 pictures, and they all belong in the same group. And it belonged to a Sherman tank crew. Not sure where this place is. I'm assuming European theater. But you can see in this picture, there's 3 of them. There's the frog skin camo. Guy up top has a Thompson submachine gun. Pretty cool. Some foliage there on the tank. Right here is the back of the tank. You can see the white star is right here on the back. This is the only one that has any writing on it, but it says tank D6 of the 2nd platoon. And that is the only information that I have on this grouping. No names, no dates, anything else, locations, just tank D6 of 2nd platoon. And right here, different guy, frog skin camo coveralls with a Browning 50 cal. And right here, 2 more guys, again with the Thompson. This one's pretty cool. It's got all 4. And this one, 3 of them hanging out. Looks like they all kind of took turns with the weapons and whatnot. Showing them off, wearing the helmet. This one's really funny. This one has 3 soldiers standing here with the Browning, the Thompson, but I think this guy here on the ground has a stick. I'm not sure what he has, but I don't think that there was a 3rd weapon besides the Browning and the Thompson, so I thought that was pretty funny, but an awesome set nonetheless. And this right here is a very, very special piece. What this is about a 6x8 maybe, little shadow box, and it's got what you can see there, frog skin camo, and a bullet, and a couple pieces of metal. And what this is, if we flip this over, we have an official certificate of authenticity from the Gettysburg Museum of History. And what this is a piece of parachute, a relic bullet, shell, and parachute hook from Saint-Marie-du-Mont in Normandy, France. And as many of you may know, Saint-Marie-du-Mont was one of the first places to get liberated in France because the 101st Airborne basically jumped in and around that area and right on top of a very surprised German infantry regiment. But I'm guessing that this up here is a 30-06 round, what would go in the M1 Garand, comparing it to some of the other bullets that I have in my collection. The casing, I can't exactly tell what it is. I'm assuming that it belonged to the M1 round here, but unsure. And this parachute hook, which is really, really cool. Love the look of this. So actual D-Day history in the collection now. And what I got here is an awesome green-colored German civilian gas mask from World War II. You can see the German Eagle stamp is right here, still on the side. Rubber is in awesome shape. Lenses are a little faded or foggy or mucked up or something's in there, but they're still in one piece. And also the straps are still in one piece. Unfortunately, didn't come with a filter, but I still think that these old gas masks look awesome with or without filters. Just love the look of them. It's really aesthetic, so I'm probably going to pop a German helmet on this one and add that to the shelf. All right, and the big lot right here, I happen to come across on one of my Facebook groups. There's a guy that doesn't live too far away, actually. He lives in the next town over that was selling this. And I've spoken to him privately before, and we have done other exchanges and whatnot. And he knows that I like to collect local stuff. So I messaged him about it and managed to get this for, I think it was like $30 with shipping, all this. But what this is an awesome little paper grouping belonging to a Robert Henry Fugo. You can see a hospital apprentice, first class, But over here I have the certificate of graduation for hospital apprentice second class. So, interesting. A group shot up here and a presidential letter, which I will go over in 1 second. But after a little bit of digging after I had bought this and doing research, because I knew when I had bought this that it was a Syracuse veteran, but I didn't know who the person was. And come to find out, Robert Henry Fugo was a principal in the West Genesee Central School District, which is right here in Camillus in Syracuse, New York. And I personally graduated there in 2012. So I thought that it was just even more amazing to have a past president or not president, principal of the same school that I graduated and that my parents had graduated from too. So my grandfather knew him, and so did my mom. So I thought that was really funny. I'm not sure exactly where he is in this. Doesn't say, but a nice group shot. Company, I think it's 503. July 14th, 1945. U.S. Naval Hospital Corps School in San Diego, California. And one more time. Hospital Corps School certificate of graduation. And this neat presidential letter here. You can see the seal up at the top. You can pause this to read this if you want. Basically a thank you. The White House, signed Harry S. Truman. So this is a really awesome piece of history here, especially local history too. On the back of his discharge paperwork, you can get a little bit more information. All the ships that he was on and whatnot. That's pretty cool. Victory Medal, American Theater Medal, and signed. So I was absolutely thrilled to get this, again, just because of Syracuse history. But speaking of local history also, I happened to stumble across some family history, and what I would like to do is make a whole video just for him. But I was able to obtain some pictures of my great-grandfather who was in World War II. I did have one of his military portraits. I was able to get that. My mom found it in a box a couple years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago. But right here are all the cool pictures that I managed to get with the help and generosity of some distant cousins. I have a whole stack of personal photos and whatnot from his time in the Pacific. When he was in the Marines, up here on my wall, this was the portrait that I had originally. I had no other information on him other than that he was in the Marines, and he has a private rank here. However, I was able to acquire these. And in this one, he has ribbon bars. And if we look here on the very side, he has a 2nd Marine Division patch with corporal stripes. There's this one also, which is printed larger on this. This was on his, this used to be on his fireplace, his mantle. But it's an awesome portrait, and it says, "In our country's service, that liberty shall be preserved." And also up here in the corner, got an awesome little picture of him and a buddy. He is on the right. And they have their rifles. And I was also able to get, this isn't his, because he passed away probably about 20 years ago now. but this is a 50-star flag. It was folded up. It was in his house, so I figured I would be able to take that, and at least it was from his house, so I'll consider that part of his collection. But if we go back down here, we have some pictures taken overseas. Now, he was a Marine corporal, again, but he served on Okinawa, Tinian, and Saipan. We got some pin-up billboards. These are taken, here we go. You can see the flaming bomb insignia down there. These are all from Saipan. You can see underneath, right next to her leg, it says Saipan Ho. So that's really cool. Got a picture postcard right here, photo postcard. This was his brother-in-law who was in the air service, which is cool. A couple more pictures. I have a whole stack of negatives too. I have all the original negatives. And I'm going to give him his own video because he deserves it. Absolutely. So I don't want to spoil everything. But I'll give you a little taste of what we can expect. Going through all these pictures was a blast. Learned a lot of things that I didn't know, so I'm definitely grateful for all of these. And what I'm doing right now, my current project, is if I zoom out a little bit, this is now no longer my patch wall. This is going to be my family history and Syracuse history wall. So currently, this is all family stuff right here. All of this is all family. This over here is the only thing that is Syracuse for right now, because I'm still working on this and it's taken me a while. But it's been a really fun project. And it's really fun going back and learning, your family's genealogy. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're interested in military history, because you'd be surprised to learn, where your family has been. So, but I want to thank you guys for joining me again, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and we'll see you then.